So I've been on a bit of a Yu-Gi-Oh kick lately. Um, I 20 years ago when this came out, I was kind of interested in it, and then I got really uninterested in it because I got into Magic for 20 years. Been watching the show lately, then I started looking back at the old cards and really just started having a fascination with it again. So I just went out and bought some card packs today. I didn't go and get a beginner's deck because I don't really like to just give you the rare, interesting cards right off the bat. So I played Yu-Gi-Oh back when it came out back in 2000, 2003. I have no idea what's in these. I have no idea what's in this expansion. But I kind of figured, hey, it'd be fun. Just go ahead and open these on camera, make a little video, and see what we get. So without further ado, this one's already kind of open, so we'll just get right to it. I bought 5 packs of 9, which should give me just enough for a deck of 40, and then maybe a few extras or a little bit of safety or buffer in case I get like a fusion or ritual monster that I can't really use right off the bat. Okay. Oh god, okay, so Dimension Conjurer, and that's a lot of text. If this card is normal summon or special summon, you can add 1 magical dimension from your deck or graveyard to your hand. If this card is sent from the monster zone to the graveyard, you can draw a card equal to the number of spellcaster monsters you control. Then place cards from your hand on top of your deck in any order, equal to the number of cards you drew. Wow. Okay, so let me see if I understand this. Add 1 magical. Okay. This card sent from your. So if this dies, you draw cards equal to the number of spellcaster monsters you control. Then place cards from your hand on top of your deck in any order equal to the number of cards you drew. Okay, so you if I have 2 spellcasters, I draw 2 cards and put 2 back. Gotcha. Alright. That's weird. Neat little card though. I like it. End of the line. If your life points lower than 100, draw 2 cards. Then, if your life points are lower than 10, draw 2 additional. That's weird too. Okay, bit of a last gambit card. Branded Disciple. When a monster effect activated by your opponent resolves, while you control level 8 or higher, Fiend Fusion monster with 0 attack or defense. That's very specific. You can negate the activated effect. At the end of the damage step, if your monster with 0 attack battle each other, you can destroy the opponent's battling monster. You can only use each effect of Branded Disciple once per turn. So it's a continuous card, but it has a very specific monster it's relating to. It sounds like Relinquish, honestly. I don't know if Relinquish is even in the game right now or not. Oh my god, are they all like this? Okay. If this card is in your graveyard, you can send 1 level 5 or higher monster from your hand to the graveyard. Special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. If this card is destroyed in battle, or if this card is in its owner's possession, is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can target one card your opponent controls, banish it. I'm assuming banish means remove from the game. You can only use each effect once per turn. So this is a level 7 monster, 2,250 or 2,500. That's cool. Alright, here's a ritual. It's a holographic one. Looks like some action, like a comic book character. You can ritual summon this card with a Libromancer card. If this card is ritual summoned by using monsters on the field, it cannot be destroyed or banished by card effects. Gains 200 attack and defense each time your opponent activates a card or effect. While you're in control of this card, with attack less than 3,000 in the monster zone. So, okay, so if it goes above 3,000, that doesn't work anymore. That's odd. Oh my god. Maybe this was a mistake. Shining Pasiphilia. This guy is called Libromancer Firestarter. And then that dragon was Naru Ares, the Vernal Dragon. Sounds like a Dark Souls character. Alright, cannot be destroyed by battle. At the beginning of your damage step, discard battle your opponent monster. You can place one peace counter on this card, max 4. Then you can apply the following effect based on the number of peace counters on it. Place one monster from your deck on top of your deck. What? So I'm assuming you have to go find a monster and put it at the top. Draw one card. Add one monster from your deck to your hand. Add one card from your deck to your hand. So that's interesting. That seems a little busted that it can't be destroyed in battle. Well, there's plenty of other ways to get rid of it into 4. Okay. Not bad. And that's, wow, that's a lot of defense. I can see that. Okay. DD Headhunt. You control a DDD monster. Target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Take control of it until the end phase of the next turn, but its effects are negated. It cannot declare an attack. Also, if it's a monster special summon from the extra deck, it is treated as a DDD monster. You can only activate one DDD Headhunt per turn. Huh. So I'm assuming that doesn't work if I don't have any of those. Oh my goodness, look at that name. Look at that paragraph. Dogmatic Macabre. Okay. This card can be used to summon any Dogmatica ritual monster from your hand or graveyard. You also have a tribute. You must also tribute monsters from your hand or field, and or banish fusion or synchro monsters from your graveyard, whose total level equal or exceed the level blah. I don't know why I'm having such, like, the letters are popping out. That's kind of weird. Exceed the level of the ritual monster you ritual summoned. Then, if both White Knight of Dogmatica and White Relic of Dogmatica are in the field, you can look at either your extra deck or your opponent's and send one monster to the graveyard. You can only activate once per turn. So that's a ritual card. Cool. I've never actually had one of those. Dinomorphia Diplos. If this card was summoned or special summoned, send one Dinomorphia card from your deck to the graveyard. Then if your life points are 2,000 less, inflict 500 damage to your opponent. This card is destroyed in battle. You can banish one trap card from your graveyard, special summon one level 4 or lower Dinomorphia monster to graveyard from your graveyard, except Dinomorphia Diplos. You can only use the effect of Dinomorphia Diplos once per turn. What's that bit about the trap card? That's kind of weird. Banish one trap from your graveyard. That's one of the ideal, like, huh. Maybe that works with, that would work with like a trap card that needs to be banished for something to happen. Cool. That's a nifty card. We'll see if I can get the pieces needed to actually summon him. Otherwise, he might go in the extra deck bin. All right, next one. Okay, this is taking a lot longer than I thought it would. I thought it was going to be like 3 or 4 minutes. Oh, this is a Battle of Chaos. I forgot to mention that. That's all these are the same. I just grabbed 5 packs and went to checkout. $5 a pack. I'm not sure if I overpaid for this or not. A black card. I've never seen a black card before. XYZ. Level 2 plus level 2 monsters. You can detach one material from this card and then target one monster your opponent controls. Banish it until your opponent's end phase. If this black card is in its owner's control, is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can target banished monsters up to number of materials card had, shuffle them into the deck. You can only use this effect once per turn. So you can detach materials, whoever those are, then target your opponent's monsters, banish them until the end phase. If this card is in its owner's control, is destroyed by your opponent's card, you can target banished monsters up to the number of materials, shuffle them into the deck. Boy, that's weird. So you banish them, but you can also put them back in the deck. So it sounds like it's a good way to remove them from the field, but not permanent? I don't know. On and Bamaru Soul Sweeper. I don't really get what the two... See, the stars are on the opposite side with this one. What's that mean? I don't know. I need to go find a rule book. It's different. I don't know what a black card does. I don't know what XYZ means either. Okay. Tribe Dive. If you have 3 or more monster types on your field, you choose 3 monsters from your deck with different types from each other, but the same types of the monster you control. Your opponent randomly chooses 1 to add to your hand or special summon, and also places the remainder at the bottom of your deck in any order. Okay, that's cool. That one's understandable. A Magnet Warrior. I remember these guys. This was on the Battle City stuff. Okay, send 1 level 4 or more Magnet Warrior monster to your deck to your graveyard. From your deck to your graveyard, except Epsilon. This card name becomes the sent monster's name until end of phase. Then you can special summon 1 Magnet Warrior or Magna Warrior monster from your graveyard with a different name. Interesting. That's kind of weird. Alright. Here's another one of the Dynamorphia ones. Pay half your life points, destroy Dynamorphia monster you control, and 1 card your opponent controls. Then your opponent activates a card or effect. While your life points are 2,000... when your opponent activates a card or effect, when your life points are 2,000 or less, you can banish this card from the graveyard. You take no damage from your opponent's card. Effects this turn, you can only activate this once per turn. I feel like a lot of these paragraphs can be better done. You know, like that bottom half about when your life points are below 2,000. Like, there's better ways to write this. I don't know, maybe there's a guide somewhere out there that helps you read these cards. God, all of them are so long. Like, every single one of these cards I've gotten has an insane amount of text on them. Like, when did this become the norm? That's insane. I'm sorry. If a card is normal summon, you can send 1 other vampire card from your hand or face up field to the graveyard. Add 1 level 4 or higher vampire monster card from your deck to your hand. If you do, send 1 level 2 or lower vampire card from your deck to the graveyard. During the main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard and pay 500 life points. Immediately after the effect resolves, normal summon vampire monster. You can use the effect of this once per turn. Okay. So you can't flip summon. I guess that's what I'm understanding here. This is also a Hollow 4-1. So this sounds good if you actually have vampires, but I don't have any of those yet. So he might be just a nice 1,500. Dang, for level 3, that's really cool. You can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, or 1 face-up card. Destroy Ice Jade monster you control, and if you do, negate the target effect until the end of turn. If a face-up water monster you control leaves the field by an opponent's card, except by being destroyed, you can add to your hand or special summon 1 Ice Jade monster. So there's a lot of different types. We had Dynamorph, Vampires, Dogmatica. There's just a bunch, like, it seems like there's a bunch of, like, sliver kind of things where you need to keep 1 kind of monster in your hand or in your deck. Okay, Mad Hacker. Cybers. What the hell is Cybers? If a monster is special summoned to your opponent's field, except during a damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. During the end phase, you can banish this card you control, take control of 1 monster opponent controls with the lowest attack, your choice if tied. But while it is face up on your field, you cannot activate its effects. You can also cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck, except link monsters. That's weird too. I don't know. Doesn't look like a hacker. He looks like a Mad Hatter. Oh, Mad Hat. Okay, I get it. I got you. Funny. Okay, S4. S4 Slap Swell. If this card is special summon, you can target one S-Force monster. So now we have another one. Now we have S-Force in there too. In your graveyard, accept S-Force Slaps Well. Special summon it. You can banish one S-Force card from your hand. Destroy all of your opponent monsters in the same column. What the hell are columns? There's another one of these ritual cards. Okay, so we got two of those now. So, if I ever get a dogmatic whatever, we might be set to summon it. Unlikely though. Alright, on to pack 3. 2 to go. Alright. Ghost Trick or Treats. If you control Ghost Trick, Field, or Spell, or a Ghost Trick Link monster, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. If your opponent can pay 2,000 life points to make this card effect, set this card instead of sending it to the graveyard after activation. Otherwise, for the rest of this turn, that face-up monster cannot attack. Its effects are negated. Also, it is changed face-down defense position during the end phase. You can only activate it once per turn. Okay, so you're kind of forcing your opponent to take his really good monster and basically negates it for a turn unless they pay 2,000, which is interesting. Okay. Second Epsilon. Darton the Mechanical Monstrosity. I always liked the machine cards. I kind of wanted to make a machine deck, so this might kind of fit into that. Once per turn during the main phase, you can check the difference between the current and original attack of each monster on the field. Add up the total of each of those differences. This and this monster's original attack becomes that combined amongst until the end of your opponent's next turn. Each monster, okay, that's interesting. So that would be good for like if you're got like little, what do you call them, tokens, what have you on them. I've not hit a regular monster yet. I've just noticed that. I don't think I have. I have to go back and look. Okay, getting 200 attack defense for each card in your opponent's graveyard. During a standby phase, this card's in your hand, or your opponent has more cards in the graveyard than you. You can special summon this card. You can only use the effects once per turn. Okay, so Leaf Place is just good for if, like, your opponent's milling or discarding a bunch. Again, I feel like that could have been written better. Alright, here's another holofoil. Uratastic Radiation. Ursa Arctic Radiation, okay. Activate this card, placing 7 counters on it. Each time an Ursa Arctic monster, so here's another one, is special summoned from the hand or extra deck, you can remove 1 counter from this card, draw 1 card once per turn. During the end phase, you can target 1 Ursa Arctic card in your graveyard. Except for Radiation, shuffle it into the deck. You can only control 1 Ursa Arctic Radiation. So this is a continuous one. It's going to have 7 counters on it. Each time, so move 1 counter from this card. Draw a card. Okay, so that's kind of nice. So you get extra draws, at least 7, and then you can put 7 cards in your, or 7 of these, whatever, Ursa Arctic cards back in your deck. Nice. Oh, look, we have a Ghost Trick. Oh, God, and it's a different shade of blue. Okay, I don't know what this is. Spellcaster Link effect. 1 non-link Ghost Trick monster. Okay, so this is a link card. I need to figure out what that is. You can also use a face-down Ghost Trick monster you control as material. to link summon this card. While Ghost Trick card is in the field zone, your Ghost Trick monsters can attack directly. When opponent's monsters declare an attack, you contribute this card. Special summon one Ghost Trick monster from your deck face down, defense position. You can only use this effect once per turn. Okay, so I need to find out what these link cards do as well, because that's another one I don't know. It's a pretty card though. Gotta figure out what some of these are. I haven't seen these before. Okay, mutant. If you control a mutant card, another different type, you can special summon this card from your hand. You contribute this card, then banish one mutant card from your hand or deck. Special summon one monster from your hand or deck based on the banished card. Lose life points equal to the special summon monster's original attack. So I'm assuming when it says like special summon one, I assume that means after you've already done that, or you've already summoned something and you don't have any extra. Again, have not hit a regular monster yet. I don't even know if they make them anymore. Smile Potion. If your opponent controls a monster whose current attack is higher than its original attack, while you control no monsters. Draw 2 cards. You can only activate once per turn. So are traps continuous now? Is that what I'm understanding? Don't get it. Okay, the Great Double Casted Caster. This is a fusion, so we need 2 non-effect monsters. See, I don't even have 2 non-effect monsters. That sucks. Gains attack equal to the combined original attack of any ritual fusion, Synchro, XYZ, or Link monsters using the fusion material for this card. This card cannot attack directly. Oh, this card can attack directly. My god. This card is destroyed in battle. The card effect, you can target one of your non-effect monsters that is banished to your graveyard. Special summon it. Okay. So basically this is going to be whatever you put into it. It's another interesting card, but I don't have a polymerization for it, if I even need polymerizations anymore. I don't know. I have to go look at that roll too. This one had a little beeper on it. Ooh, jeez. 20 minutes I've been talking. Alright. Yugioh. Another Epsilon. Another Darton. Another Leaf Place. Dinomorphia Sonic. When your opponent activates a spell or trap card while you control a Dinomorphia monster, pay half your life points and negate the activation. If you do, destroy that card. Then destroy one Dinomorphia you control. During the damage calculation, while your life points are 2,000 or less, if you would take battle damage, you can banish this card from your graveyard. You take no battle damage from that battle, or can activate once. Okay, so that's a nice get out of jail free card, kind of. Ooh, this is a white card. I've never seen that before, so that's the hollow form one. Dark Dimension Soldier. A warrior synchro effect. 1 tuner and 1 non-tuner monster. So I need to figure out what tuners are. You can banish 1 card from your hand, then target one of your banished dark monsters. Special summon that monster in face up or face down defense position. During the end phase, inflict 100 damage to your opponents for each set card on the field. You can only use this effect once. Okay. Special summon that monster face up or face down. Okay, so seems like a good one to set up. Another white card. Groza, Tyrant of Thunder. That's a big boy. This guy is 5. I forgot to mention that. He's a level 5 monster. This one's 8. So he's noticeably thicker, but with these synchro guys, I don't know if it's easier or harder to summon them. 1 tuner, non-tuner Fiend. During your opponent's main phase, you can target 1 effect monster on the field. Discard 1 monster, and if you do, negate that monster's effect until the end of the turn. You can only use this effect of Groza. Yeah, we can use it once per turn. If a fiend monster is sent from your hand to the graveyard, except during the damage step, you can apply one of the following effects of this card until the end of the turn. Cannot be destroyed in battle, cannot be destroyed by opponent card effects. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Interesting. Seems like a cool guy. Menacing. Okay, we have another Dinomorphia alert, and that looks like, that looks interesting. Here's my Dinomorphia guy at, hold on. Here he is. Oh, it's not exact. I was gonna say they may have just copied this this dude and put him in the back of that picture, but it doesn't look like that. All right, let's read this wall of text. Pay half your life points. Special summon up to 2 Dinomorphia monsters from your graveyard whose total level equals 4 or less, but you cannot declare an attack with them this turn. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn, except for Dinomorphia monsters. When your opponent activates a card effect, while your life points are $2,000 or 2,000 less, you can banish this card from graveyard. Take them. Okay, so we've had that before. These Dinomorphia ones seem to they favor the Dinomorphia cards. Like you need to use them, otherwise they're not going to work properly. Okay, this is a fish icon on this guy. I don't know what that means. Oh, that's not a fish, that's an arrow. What does that arrow mean? Okay, at the start of your opponent's battle phase, pay half your life points. Jesus. Special summon 1 Dinomorphia token. 10 attack, 0 level 10, 0 attack, 3,000 defense. If you do, first a turn where you control that token in your monster zone, your opponent cannot target other monsters for the attack except that one. Oh. During damage calculation, yada yada yada. Okay. That's kind of a cool one. So you can essentially pay half your life points for a monster that has to be attacked but has 3,000 defense. That's a good sap on your enemy's life points. Alright. Simor, Bird of Perfection. While face up on the field, this card also has win attributes you can use up to following effects once per turn during the main phase. If you normal summon or special summon a winged beast monster, you can reveal this card in your hand immediately after the effects resolve. Normal summon 1 Simorg monster. If this card is normal summoned, you can send 1 Simorg monster back from your deck to the graveyard. Add 1 from your deck to your hand. That's weird, so it must be other Simorgs, I guess. Again, it'd be nice if I had any of these cards that work well with each other, but I plumb don't. It's gonna be a fun deck. Alright, last pack. Here we go. Skilled Brown Magician. Each time a spell card is activated, place 1 spell counter on this card. When that card resolves, max with 3. You can move 1 spell counter from this and activate one of the effects. This card gains 1,500 attack, level increased by 1. That's weird. Add 1 Karibo monster or 1 multiply from your deck or graveyard to your hand. You can only use these effects to skill beneficial once per turn. So if I don't have a Karibo or multiply, I guess I can only do that one thing. Rock Scales, level 5. If this card is special summon, you can target 1 other face-up monster on the field. Equip that monster to this card. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles an opponent monster with the same type and attribute as the monster card equipped by this card's effect, you can destroy that opponent's monster. Cool. So that one punishes the opponent if they're using the same type, same attribute of monster in their deck. So that would actually work with a lot of this now I think about it. So these Dinomorphia, all these different weird sets of monsters, that might work well. Okay, Dull Happiness. When this card's activated, add 1 Grandpa's Demito or Box of Friends from your deck to your hand while you control Princess Cologne. Your The opponent's monster cannot target monsters with attack, 0 attack, or defense. 4 attacks. Once per turn, you can destroy 1 monster in your hand or field. If you do, send 1 doll monster card from your deck or graveyard to the graveyard. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn. Wow, this is fucking complicated. Jesus. So it's a continuous effect. Okay, so this looks good. I don't think we need to worry about this first part if I don't have those cards. I don't have any dull monsters. I don't think I have any dulls, so that part doesn't matter. Silvervine Sentry. You contribute this card, then target 1 level 2 monster in your graveyard, except this one, and summon it. Then you can special summon 1 level 2 monster from your hand with a different attribute than the one you summoned. This is only used to effect once per turn. Yeah. Dictator of D, that sounds familiar. While your opponent controls a blue-eyes monster, you choose the attack targets for your opponent's attacks. That's cool. Oh, that's my whole one, too. Hollow 4. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. You can send 1 blue-eyes white dragon from your hand or deck to the graveyard. Special summon this card from your hand. Okay. That's making more sense now. You can discard 1 blue-eyes white dragon, a card that matches it, then target 1 blue-eyes white dragon graveyard, special summon it. So, cheesy way of getting a blue-eyes out. I like it. Another Diplos, another alert, another flower dino. Ooh, don't have this guy yet. Cannot be normal summoned. Must be special summoned by its own effect. You can only use each of the summoning or following effects of fire once per turn. You activate a trap card or effect. When your opponent activates a spell card or effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 3 banished spells or traps and place them on the bottom of the appropriate deck. Weird. Alright, last one. Ogdetic Serpent Strike. You can summon 1 monster from your hand or field to the graveyard, then target 1 reptile monster in your graveyard from a different original attribute than that monster. Special summon it. During your main phase, if a monster is sent to your opponent's graveyard, you can send 1 reptile monster from your deck to the graveyard. You can only use each of the effects once per turn. Okay, so a lot of continuous magic cards. So I think it's safe to say with this that I don't really have a shot. Like, let's see how many monsters I actually got out of this. Some of these I need to look up the rules for. I've never even seen these before. These guys up over here. So I don't know what the value of any of these are. I might go back and look at some of these later. Who knows? We'll see. This took much longer than I thought it would. And I don't know. I'm not too enthused by this deck I've drafted myself because I'm missing a lot of cards for some of these to actually work properly. Yeah. That's a pretty nice chunk. That's all monsters there. This is all magic cards right here, so cool. Yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know if I have any zingers in here, and who knows? Maybe I'll play a game with these someday. Probably not, though. See you later.